welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Meg. I'm a busy stay-at-home, work-from-home mom of 3 little girls, ages 1, 3, and 5. And today I'm taking you along for a late Friday afternoon tidy session with me. So the last 7 weeks, my husband has traveled every single week, including a little trip that him and I did for something else, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But he's been gone for the last couple of weeks, so it's been really hectic with the kids doing swim lessons a couple nights a week. My daughter had her very first ballet recital, so we were busy with that. We've done t-ball and soccer and all different sorts of things and normal end of the school year activities. So to say we've been a little busy is an understatement. I don't know how parents with older kids who are involved in a lot more things do it, so I know we'll get there one day. But what I'm doing today is literally just tidying every single room in the house. I'm not doing any cleaning. There's no vacuuming, there's no mopping, there's no dusting. It's literally putting everything back where it belongs. My goal next week on Monday and Tuesday after work is to get the house fully cleaned. So it's easier to clean a house or clean a room or clean anything, in my opinion, when you don't have to clean up clutter first. So my goal for the weekend was to get the house completely cleaned up so it kind of makes it easier and faster to clean next week. So next Wednesday, so right now this is the Friday of Memorial Day weekend. So the Wednesday after Memorial Day, my oldest daughter, Peyton, is graduating from preschool, which is, I cannot believe that she's going to be in kindergarten in the fall. And we are then going to Florida on next Friday with my mom, just the girls and I, a little girls trip for 5 days. So my husband's staying back. He is working overnight for his second job, and then he is taking vacation from his, daytime job, and he's getting stuff done mostly outside around the house. So he will be busy while we're gone. So I want to have a nice clean house to leave, him with, and that way it shouldn't be too bad, since he mostly will be spending a lot of his time outside cleaning out the garage and different things like that. So here I'm just literally going through my room. This was probably like the worst room. Everything just got dumped here. So I grabbed these little baskets and I literally just put stuff in them that didn't belong in my room just to take them elsewhere. You'll see in a little bit, I end up having to grab a second basket because there was that much stuff in like the laundry room and the other room. So I then separated between, okay, what's going down to the first floor and then what needs to get put away upstairs. The reason you see a clock on my bed is that is actually my daughter Savannah, my 3-year-old, and she got that taken out of her room the other night because she was being a little rambunctious and kept setting it off and wasn't really listening, so I just up and took it out of her room. They talk about the terrible 2s, and I would say the 3s are the trying 3s. She is the sweetest little girl ever. She has a good soul, a good heart. She's very sensitive, but the top layer of her is very trying. She will push buttons as far as she can go. She tests you. She tests her limits, and it's been a long couple of months. But she is a good kid. It was just, she kept setting the clock off the other night, and I really just didn't want to hear it anymore, and I really just wanted her to go to bed. So anyway, that clock is going to go back in her room. She hasn't really asked about it, but it'll go back to its place because I don't need it in my room. So anyway, going back to my husband and I, our travel a few weeks ago. So I can't divulge too much information due to privacy reasons, but 8 years ago when my dad was diagnosed with leukemia, my husband and I joined Be The Match. It's the bone marrow registry where you just do a simple cheek swab and it puts you in the registry to become a donor someday for somebody in need. So right before Thanksgiving, my husband got the call that he was a perfect match for someone who needed a stem cell transplant. So it was a long couple months of testing and back and forth, and the transplant got delayed a little bit a couple of times, but then finally the date was set, and him and I'm not going to say where we went just because I can't disclose that information, but it was a plane ride away, so him and I went from a Sunday to a Tuesday, out of state and everything, and it was quite an experience. It was very humbling to kind of see the other side of it. My dad did have a stem cell transplant when he was sick. My brother was his donor, so we kind of knew probably more than a lot of donors know. We kind of, unfortunately, know the other side of it. So him and I traveled for that, and it was a quick trip, but it was, it was so meaningful, and our prayers continue every day to be with the recipient and their family. And we really hope that in a year from now, once the 1 year mark is up, that they want to make contact with us, and my husband is definitely open to making contact with them. So hopefully we can hear a positive outcome. So we are praying for them every single day. So anyway, like I said, I counted that one of the 7 weeks of travel that I was talking about, and then he's been traveling for work quite a bit. So we are definitely looking forward to a little relaxation this weekend. So he is working Saturday night into Sunday, just midnight to 8. So it's not a typical 12-hour shift, so it's a little bit shorter. So he'll come home and sleep for a couple hours, and then we're going to do a little family picnic, and then we will have Monday off to reset and recharge the batteries. I'm actually working Monday, but the kids are off, he's off, so it'll be kind of a low-key day in terms of not having to leave the house, which is always nice. Unfortunately, the weather this weekend in Pennsylvania is not nice. It is in the 50s and raining and just really damp and dreary. So it's kind of bummer because the pool we belong to actually opens on Saturday, but there definitely will not be any swimming going on. So hopefully we can get a pool night in during the week. Although we have quite a bit going on this week as well. Tuesday night, Savannah has soccer. Wednesday night, we have a makeup t-ball game from a few weeks ago that got canceled because of the rain. And then Thursday night, it's supposed to be in the 80s, so maybe we'll get there Thursday night. And then the girls and I leave for Florida on Friday. So it is nice, though, that he is home this week. I felt nice being able to plan some meals and whatnot, because typically I don't cook a whole lot when he's gone, just for myself, since the kids don't exactly eat everything that we eat. So I do have some good things planned for the week. I think that will be my next video on here, will be like 5-6 straight days of cooking. So I'll share some easy recipes with you all if you are looking for something that just takes a few minutes. That's kind of the way I like to plan my meals, is quickness. I don't care about using the stove or anything or the oven. It's just I like things that only take like 10 minutes or under to prep. So that is what next week's meals are all about, and even some crock pot in there, which I love the crock pot. My husband joked 9 years ago now, it'll be since we had our engagement pictures done, and we were leaving to go to the pictures, and he said, "Are you going to bring the crock pot?" That's my fiance that works at home all day, which he still makes that joke sometimes. I'm like, that's a dad joke at this point. It wasn't funny then, it's still not funny. But no, I love my crock pot. I use it a lot. I just think things cook really well in the crock pots. I think it makes meat tender. I think it just makes things juicier. So I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the crock pot, but I always say when people are like, "Oh, I'm not a good cook." Anybody with a crock pot can cook. There are so many recipes out there where it's 3 to 5 ingredients. mostly a meat and some seasonings or spices or broths or whatever, and marinades, and you can have a meal in a couple of hours. So I like to set it and forget it, and it's literally, you can't screw it up. I guess you could, but I don't know. So that hallway closet that you see there is definitely on my list to declutter. There is so much stuff in there. I have a good portion of it organized, but that middle shelf is horrible. So my goal this summer is to get the whole house decluttered. I'd like everything to be like nice and in order and organized by the time the kids start school, just because it's only going to get busier with my oldest starting kindergarten, being in school 5 days a week all day, and my middle daughter is going to be going to school 5 days a week, half days, so not full days, but still she'll be gone, and then my little one will still be home, which is nice. But I would just like the school year to start on a nice and organized note, because I feel like sometimes I rush around in the morning, and a lot of my rushing around is unnecessary, and it's just because I forget something or can't find something, or there's like some things I'm even thinking of that I keep upstairs that doesn't really make sense because it's something I use downstairs every day, just like stupid things like that. So just trying to get some thoughts around like decluttering and reorganizing to make things go smoother come the new school year, because they will be going to, their schools right now are 2 minutes apart, and the drop-off time is 10 minutes apart, where that is not the case for the fall. In the fall, basically their schools are in opposite directions. So Peyton will be going to the elementary school, which is only probably like a 5-6 minute drive, but it's like in the opposite direction of Savannah's preschool. So, and the drop-off times are like 5 minutes apart. So it's just going to be kind of finagling schedules with my mom and my father-in-law, or if I'm going to take them both to school, Savannah's just going to be a couple minutes late every day, which it is what it is. I do my best. So that's not something I need to worry about right now, just something that I've thought about. And as moms know, I am probably like most, and you worry about things that really aren't worth worrying about, but it's months away and it's already on my mind. So it is what it is, and we will get through it. But I just figured if I can do a couple things to make life a little bit easier in the morning, I'm going to try and work on that this summer. So more to come, maybe some decluttering projects. And really, I think I need to start with the closets. All the girls' closets are disasters. The most organized one is Savannah's, just because that is the addition that we put on the house. So I tried from the get-go to like kind of keep that organized, but I have so many clothes in bins. The girls are like in between sizes, so it's just kind of been a work in progress of trying to get clothes sorted in the right order, because for like 2 sizes, like 3T and part of 4T, Peyton and Savannah wore the same size, so it was easy. But now they're in different sizes, and like all of a sudden Peyton, even though she's older, she's tinier. She was in 4T shirts all winter. In the last like 2 months, they're like belly shirts on her. So every time she's worn a long sleeve shirt, I just go and get it out of Savannah's closet, because Savannah's in 5T. Even tonight when I was putting them to bed, Savannah, I swore she had Peyton's pajamas on, because I'm like, those are like super short on you. And I looked, and nope, they were 5T. So I'm like, okay, so now I need to take all the 4T pajamas out of Peyton's dresser, pack them away, move the 5T pajamas into Peyton's room, and get Savannah new pajamas. So it's just constant moving. The baby's in between sizes as well. 12 months is getting, short and tight on her, and 18 months is a little long. I feel like they need size 15 months for her right now, but so I just need to, what I ultimately really need to do is start getting rid of or giving away smaller size baby clothes. I haven't been able to do it yet. My mama heart can't, even though I know we are done having children, but I really, really just can't let go of these clothes. So I know eventually I'll have to, because I'm running out of room in the closets for all these bins. So it needs to happen, but I think it just needs to happen when my heart is ready. My one friend gave me the suggestion of taking some of their newborn clothes and letting them put them on their dolls or their stuffed animals. I'm like, oh, that's a cute idea. And she said it's nice because you get to, see the little outfits again that you love so much on them. So that's something that I would think about doing when I'm ready to open those bins back up and venture down that project. So here I was just cleaning up Peyton's room. I did not have to do anything in Savannah or Juliana's rooms because their rooms were actually okay. I kind of would, little by little during the week, I straightened their rooms up. Peyton's room was just the one that was kind of a disaster with toys and everything everywhere. So that was all cleaned up. So now the girls' bedrooms are all ready to be cleaned. And now I'm just sorting the 2 baskets that I carried around with me and filled up. And I basically made a basket of everything that needed to go downstairs. And then I just made piles on the floor for everything else, whether it was going in Peyton's room, Savannah's room, Juliana's room, the laundry room, or the girls' bathroom. So this is stuff that was accumulated mostly in my room and mostly on the steps. I made a New Year's resolution this year that I was going to keep the steps cleared off, and I failed miserably at that. And I really just need to stop putting stuff on the steps and not taking it up the stairs. But I feel like half the time I'm carrying the baby and following behind, 2 toddlers who goof around, and I'm ready to pull my hair out sometimes because I swear they're going to fall and get hurt, and it just drives me nuts when they walk up the steps. I'm like, just walk. We don't need to turn around and talk. We don't need to, play and anything like that. Let's just walk up the steps. So I feel like I have the intentions of carrying stuff up, but I'm more playing defense to make sure nobody falls and gets hurt. Peyton, our oldest, fell down the steps when she was a little over 2. She was sitting at the top of the steps and she stood up and she tumbled. She forward tumbled. Luckily, our stairs are carpeted, and the gate at the bottom of the steps broke her fall from landing onto the hardwood floor at the bottom in the foyer. But yeah, she went down. I did not see it happen. My husband did, and I think it took years off his life. I was right at the top of the steps in Savannah's room putting her down for bed. She was only maybe 3 or 4 months old, and I heard Peyton hit the gate and I jumped, and my husband was full blown panicked. So most parents have been there with some sort of fall with kids, and it is not fun. It is definitely pretty scary. So now I'm downstairs, and the downstairs was an absolute disaster, and I just could not wait to get this cleaned up. I had gotten a grocery delivery that morning, as I always do on Fridays, so my island was clear at the time that the groceries came, but here I had some last-minute things I still needed to put away. I usually try to just get the cold stuff put away first thing, and then as the day goes on and I finish up my work for the day, I get the rest of the groceries put away. So there was just a couple of things. I needed some random things for our little picnic that we're going to do on Friday, so my groceries were a little more quantity than usual. So I think I had 50 items or something, which is, I normally have in the 30s, but kind of items for random things, and wanted to make sure I was all stocked up, especially since, like I said, I was planning on cooking all week. So the plan for Saturday night, or tonight, let me back up. So Friday night I made BLTs. I don't like tomatoes, but I did make some bacon in the oven, and we had some BLTs. Nick got home from Boston. He got home around a little after 6, maybe closer to 6:30. I guess it was like 6:30. So I had his all ready because I was taking the baby up for bed as soon as she said goodnight to him. And then Saturday night, making Caesar chicken. It's the easiest meal in the world, and my husband always asks for it. It is, I use chicken cutlets instead of the chicken breasts, and I coat them in Caesar dressing, and then the breading on them is crushed up croutons, and you bake them, and it's so easy, and they're so good, and I actually really like them. I'm not a huge chicken fan. Chicken has to be very marinated or very flavorful for me to like it. My husband could probably eat like boiled chicken with some salt and pepper and be fine, and the thought of that just makes me want to throw up. So the Caesar chicken is really, really good. And then the rest of the week, I don't have any kind of order yet because, like I said, Monday we have no plans in terms of the evening, and it's not going to be nice enough to go swimming. So I was going to make baked gnocchi with a sausage, like a sauce made with ground sausage. So I'll probably do that on Monday. And then Tuesday night, Savannah has soccer. And Wednesday night, we have a makeup t-ball game. And then Thursday night, I think I just have kind of some meals planned. And then hoping like Thursday night, we just have some leftovers that we can have. I was going to get my groceries delivered on Thursday this week because of leaving Friday, and I thought for my husband I would make him like some Wimpy's or some taco meat, just something so he can heat stuff up for himself, although he is like perfectly capable of cooking and enjoys to cook for himself when I'm gone. I just thought that would be nice for me to do, so we'll see if he wants me to do that or what he wants me to get for himself, just some snacks and stuff. And then I'll be placing a delivery order for Friday for the house down there, like we always do when we get down there, and just some essentials for the week. We pretty much will probably eat breakfast at the house every day, and then we'll go out for lunch or dinner or both or whatever. Our plan is really just swimming and going to the shops and walking around the squares and eating out and having some good food. So it's going to be hopefully a relaxing, quote unquote. I'm not sure how relaxing a vacation with a 1, a 3, and a 5-year-old is, but it should be nice. And it's nice and hot down in Florida, so we'll get lots of time in the pool. And we've gone down there before the week after Memorial Day, and it's nice and hot, but the crowds really have died down. It's like people, the snowbirds are gone, and people visiting, are gone as well. So it seems like that week after Memorial Day seems to work out pretty good. So here I'm just going through my fruit. The oranges that I bought like 3 different types over like the last week or so, 2 weeks, and like some of them weren't good. Like we opened one of the clementines and there was like mold inside of it. So I hate wasting fruit. We really rarely ever waste fruit in the house. But there was just no way that we were eating some of that. And then some of the apples had gotten bad. So got that restocked. Got my limes restocked for a margarita or 2 this weekend. My husband makes a very good fresh margarita. So hoping to have 1 or 2 of those on Sunday or Monday. But we will see. So Sunday. I keep forgetting when we're going to do our cookout. But I forget that I actually didn't take off on Monday because of just being off later in the week, and the following week I figured I can get some stuff done and not have to use the vacation time since I'm already taking some other time off later in the week. So it should be a quiet work day for the most part, and I have a couple things that I have to work on, so that'll be good. Over here, this is another area that needs to be decluttered. I'm literally just trying to find a space for this container, and this room, the dining room, will be done as well as part of the project. And then finally, my office. The office is also like my bedroom upstairs is the upstairs dumping ground. The office is definitely the downstairs dumping ground. In that container right there, the red container, that is the girls' winter clothes, like their snow pants and snow jackets and boots. So I want to put that down in the basement, put that away for the year. I have returns I have to make to Target. I got the girls a bunch of sandals that I had ordered, knowing that I was going to be doing returns because I got multiple sizes for both of them. So I have a lot there. Then I have an Amazon box. Some stuff I ordered my husband for Father's Day. And then I'm also now going through some school party stuff. So pulling out like cards and then throwing away like the wrappers and stuff, or anything that, they couldn't have if it was like too small or whatever. So if you can see to the left of my desk, I have that gray, it's a toddler tower. I'd like to put it back out in the kitchen, or at least store it in the dining room, that they could still use it. I mean, they're pretty good at sitting up at the island chairs at this point, but the baby, in another couple of months will probably be able to stand in that tower. And then the three bins I have on top of it, the first two are labeled. So one says Peyton Preschool Artwork, the other one says Savannah Preschool Artwork, and the bottom one is just like paint supplies and like little activities. It's kind of like a craft box that I don't like to keep out because A, I don't want the supplies to get lost, and B, I just, like, anything you put out in the playroom just gets swallowed whole by, like, the bins and the toy room and everything. So anything I want to keep, like, especially, like, paint and stuff, obviously, I don't want the kids just having paint in the playroom. They're way too young for that. So I keep that in here, and then when they ask for it, it's something like, okay, you can have this, but you have to stay at the kitchen table, and then when we're done, we put it back in here. So I was just showing my 2026-2027 calendar. I use I think they call it like the teaching calendar or whatever, because it's more like or academic, not teaching, academic calendar. I got it for $9 off of Amazon, and I use that for my work stuff. So piling a couple things. We had my daughter's first birthday party a few weeks ago, so she got like a Target gift card from someone, so I was putting that on the steps to go upstairs in our little gift card bin so I didn't lose it. And then some other things that I needed to go up. And then those shoes I do need to put out in the garage to take to Target and return. I have what's on that table back there at the moment is Peyton's teacher gifts. I want to send them in with her on Tuesday and then next to it I have the Pillsbury gluten-free Funfetti cake mix and Pillsbury icing. I'm going to make little cupcakes on Wednesday after her graduation. We're just going to come back to the house with my mom and my father-in-law, and my mom is going to pick up some Jersey Mike subs that I'm going to order. I figure I'm just going to get some like big ones, and I'll cut them in like pieces so everyone could try different subs, and then we will go from there. So we'll have some cupcakes, and I was going to make a little gluten-free pasta salad, and I figured that would be, enough for just a little after party. So as you can see, everything in the house is now all tidied up. It's, like I said, not clean. I could see just looking at this video that there needs to be some vacuuming done, which is fine. That will be, to come this week. But just getting everything put away and kind of the clutter gone made me feel so much better and not so overwhelmed. So my advice to you, if you need to get decluttered before you try cleaning, get things picked up and put back, and try the basket method. Carry them around with you. If it doesn't belong in there, put it in the basket and deal with it, then unload the basket. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I would appreciate if you'd like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. And I really hope that this brought you some kind of motivation today. And I really appreciate you being here and watching and following along. And I will see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.